This is Radio Taiwan International. Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Friday, February 6th. Premier Zhuo Rongtai highlights the tariff deal as proof of the U.S.'s democratic partnership. Experts are warning China is using the KMT-CCP forum to sway the U.S. on shifting Taiwan opinions. And the U.S. and Japan are reducing reliance on Chinese rare earth elements. But first, today's top story. Premier Zhuo Rongtai on Friday touted the results of reciprocal tariff talks with the United States, saying they prove Taiwan and the U.S. are strategic partners in democratic industries. Speaking at the Economic Ministry's Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise Diversified Revitalization and Development Plan results presentation, Zhuo emphasized ongoing support for small and medium-priced enterprise or SME upgrades. He listed achievements over the past year, counseling 247,000 SMEs, creating over 9.7 billion NT dollars, which is $306.5 million US dollars in value, and saving 363 million kilowatts of electricity. On the completed reciprocal tariff negotiations, Zhuo said the team has made full preparations awaiting Vice Premier Zheng Lijun's U.S. trip for the formal signing. Achievements include Taiwan's tariff rate dropping to 15% without stacking and most favored nation treatment for semiconductors and derivatives under Section 232 tariffs. Zhuo said,
"These two achievements also represent that the US side and Taiwan and the US together, have once again proven to the world that we are strategic partners in democratic industries. We have a competitive edge and maintain a strategic partnership that will provide greater support for the transformation of all industries nationwide in the future. Everyone, please keep up the good work, okay?"
President Lai Ching-te has directed the SME Credit Guarantee Fund of Taiwan, Taiwan SME Counseling Foundation, and financial units to proactively contact SMEs via phone calls to assess post-negotiation needs. Zhuo said data will soon be checked for optimal industry needs. A KMT-CCP think tank forum held on Tuesday in Beijing is seen as paving the way for a potential Chengxi meeting, a meeting between KMT chairperson Cheng Li-wen and Chinese President Xi Jinping this summer, experts warned Friday. At a seminar hosted by Donghai University Center for Mainland China and Regional Development Research titled From KMT CCP Forum to Chengxi Meeting, China's Strategy to Manipulate Taiwan Public Opinion, former Deputy Executive Director Hong Buzhao said the forum aims to create the illusion of shifting Taiwan public opinion to influence the U.S. Hong believes the function of the forum has never been about cross-strait relations. Rather, the CCP mainly uses it to shape the image of Taiwan's public opinion shifting and convincing the U.S. that Taiwan is not blindly accepting so-called Western democratic values, but is a manageable bargaining chip, whether the shift is real or fake. Hong noted that immediately after the forum, President Xi called Donald Trump, with Xinhua News issuing a report framing Taiwan as the most important issue in U.S.-China relations, setting the stage for an April Trump-Xi meeting. National Chengxi University's Institute of International Relations Associate Research Fellow Zheng Weifeng added that Trump prioritizes U.S. interests, including semiconductor supply chains and the first island chain secured by Taiwan's trade stability. However, if Trump buys into CCP narratives that unification would not harm U.S. interests, it's a worry for Taiwan. He urged Taiwan to maintain ties with U.S. politicians and think tanks, publicize reliable polls, and counter CCP narratives to avoid misunderstanding. The United States and Japan are advancing parallel efforts to reduce reliance on China for rare earths and critical minerals.
Global competition over critical minerals is entering a new phase, as the United States and Japan roll out parallel strategies aimed at reducing dependence on China. U.S. officials confirmed this week that Washington has launched Project Volt, a strategic mineral stockpiling program with nearly $12 billion in initial funding. The plan combines about $1.67 billion in private capital with $10 billion in loans from the Export-Import Bank of the United States. Project Volt is designed to build domestic stockpiles of critical minerals used in the automotive, technology, and defense industries. Officials familiar with the project says it will operate through centralized bulk purchasing, creating roughly 60 days of emergency reserve for materials such as rare earth, lithium, and nickel. The move reflects growing concerns in Washington over China's dominance in global critical mineral supply chains. According to data from the International Energy Agency, China controls nearly two-thirds of global rare earth mining output and more than 90% of refining capacity, giving Beijing significant geopolitical leverage. Japan announced a separate breakthrough on the same day. The Japan Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology said its research vessel Chikyu successfully recovered rare earth-bearing sediments from the seabed at a depth of about 6,000 meters near Minami Torishima, marking the world's first extraction attempt at that depth. Japanese officials estimate the surrounding area holds more than 16 million metric tons of rare earth resources within Japan's exclusive economic zone. Analysts say commercial development could significantly reduce Japan's reliance on Chinese supply. Together, the U.S. stockpiling push and Japan's deep-sea mining effort highlight a shared goal among democratic allies: reshaping critical mineral supply chains to reduce vulnerability to disruptions in geopolitical pressure. Joey Chow for RTI News.
Foreign Minister Lin Jialong said via social media that he was deeply impressed by a visiting Panamanian delegation, which left Taiwan Friday. This was the second cross-party delegation from Panama to visit Taiwan, and Lin made special note of their emphasis on friendliness, with the hope that relations could continue to grow and strengthen. The delegation was led by Jose A. Perez Barboni, who also serves as Executive Secretary of the Interparliamentary Alliance on China. The other members of the delegation came from 5 different political parties and independent groups, which Lin noted demonstrates the Panamanian National Assembly's high level of attention towards Taiwan. Delegation members expressed their hope for opportunities for common development and prosperity through parliamentary diplomacy. Lin quoted Perez as saying that the countries should continue deepening ties because, quote, old friends are always better than new, end quote. Lin said that in the face of recent dramatic changes to global geopolitics, Taiwan and Panama should cooperate for regional and global peace and stability from their positions on either side of the Pacific. Taiwan is a trusted partner for global democracies looking to diversify risks and strengthen economic security and resilience. Lin said that industry cooperation between Taiwan and Panama will help to build a more stable, non-red supply chain. The opening ceremony for the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics will take place on the 7th, Taiwan time. This year already marks several historic moments for Taiwan, with a record 10 athletes qualifying for the Games, although only 9 will compete. On Thursday, February 5th, Taiwan announced figure skater Li Yuxiang and bobsledder Lin Xingrong will be the flag bearers at the Games opening ceremony. 18-year-old Li has trained domestically since childhood and finished 5th overall in his qualifier. He is Taiwan's first competitor in the Winter Olympics men's figure skating in 28 years, since David Liu in 1998. Lin originally competed in the luge before transitioning to bobsleigh in March 2024. Having spent the following years training, she is considered a strong competitor, securing multiple podium finishes in North America and Europe. Lin herself qualified for the Olympics after ranking 16th in the monobob. Together with brakeman Liang Yujie and Lin Song-en, she will lead Taiwan's first ever women's bobsleigh team in this year's Games. This year's Games are co-hosted by the cities of Milan and Cortina, with 2 additional competition sites in Predazzo and Bormio. The opening ceremony will take place mostly in Milan, though other cities will participate through live video. In keeping with convention, Taiwan will enter 81st and will be listed under the T, despite performing under the name Chinese Taipei. Flowers are popular decorations at most Lunar New Year celebrations. To meet public demand, the Taipei Flower Market will be open 24 hours a day from February 12th to 16th, though with availability may also come higher prices.
With the Lunar New Year less than 2 weeks away, Taipei Flower Market is working tirelessly to welcome the influx of flower buyers. They've announced that starting February 12th, they will be open for 108 hours straight until Lunar New Year's Eve, February 16th. Taipei Flowers Auction Company Chairman Ran Huanmei explains that this year's flower production is more abundant because Leap Month extended the growing cycle by about 3 weeks, resulting in a 10 to 20% increase in supply. Due to this, prices for most varieties are projected to drop by about 10% compared to the same period last year. However, flowers that carry special cultural meaning, like chrysanthemums and lilies, will likely see price increases. During Lunar New Year, chrysanthemums symbolize longevity and good fortune. Lilies represent harmony and happiness, and silver willow symbolizes abundant wealth. The current wholesale price of 10 stems of chrysanthemums is between $150 and $200 NT, about 4.7 to 6.3 US dollars, and a price increase of up to 50% is expected next week. As for lilies, a bunch of 5 stems currently costs between $250 and $300 NT, or 7.9 to 9.5 US dollars, with a similar price increase expected next week. As the Year of the Horse approaches, people are spending good money on flowers to add to the festive atmosphere, hoping that their presence will encourage good luck to bloom in the coming year. Amanda Stevens and Michelle Chang for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Michelle Chang. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.